One.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of A&M Political Views. We are your host, Aviance Watts.
And I'm Michelle Tyson.
Okay, y'all. I just read an article about a week ago. There are some parents in the state of Michigan that is really trying to put a stop to the mandate of wearing masks in the school districts, and it's crazy. Yeah, they did a protest at the Board of Education in Hudsonville, actually, and there's a few districts it's a few concerned parents because these parents are saying this: wearing masks is really hindering their children from learning, with the social distancing, the virtual learning. Because and to an extent, I can see where she's coming from, but just wearing a mask. I don't know. But anyway, um, it's a lot of concerned parents, and they were protesting at the Board of Education in Hudsonville about a week ago, on the 15th.
Didn't I see them beating on the door?
They was beating on the door, let us in, and all that with no mask. Trying to get into the meeting, and they wouldn't let them in because it's mandated. It's a requirement to enter any facility, any public facility. You have to wear a mask, and they are saying that it's hindering or it's a long-term effect on the kids learning. For example, they don't they really don't get to all the social distancing is affecting their learning, and then too, like I said, I can kind of feel where they're coming from to an extent. Because when you in the classroom with a teacher, from virtual as opposed to virtual and in school, yeah, it's a lot of more virtual. But when you in school, it's like you get that hands-on, you know, learning. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so that's a lot more effective than just learn. Okay, just like writing. When you teaching the kid how to write their name, it's a little difficult to teach them over a screen.
Right.
You have to, might have
Be
to
able
be
to
right.
show them.
Yeah, yeah. So I can see to an extent, but they can learn that with a mask on. But
That is true.
at the same time, me just playing the advocate, sometimes, because I do know this as an educator, I know in some schools, okay, for an example, some schools in the classroom, they do have their desks 6 feet apart, or if they have tables or whatever, they have, they make sure each student is 6 feet apart. They practice social distancing. When the class is over with, they spray the desk down, all that good stuff with, spray and everything, all that. Okay. And then there are other school districts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, for an example, they when they're in the classroom, yeah, the kids are right there next to each other. Um, they have their mask on, of course, but there's no social distancing in some school districts and certain schools. Um,
But
when they
isn't it
having,
mandatory that they supposed to be
I
having those
thought
kids 6 feet
that's what I thought.
apart?
So no, that's
So
what I
that could
thought.
play a big role of why
Yeah,
some of our students are
and when
catching
they,
the
yeah,
coronavirus also because
they're
if
not
we are not
practicing.
enforcing it in our schools and that falls down on the administrative staff, they need to be following the rules because I
But
mean,
it applies to a lot of different things, other than schools. But in the lunchroom, um, when they're in line, when some kids are in line in lunch, some don't practice social. They don't practice the 6 feet. They in line, and then when they go sit at their tables or whatever in lunch, they don't. Everybody's not 6 feet apart. Not all the time. Sometimes there are. Um, Again, even at the airport, when we going through checkpoint, everybody's 6 feet apart. But then when we get on the plane, you know,
I can say even in the restaurants,
even in the
they're not 6 feet apart because you have, if you, especially in the fast food industry, they're definitely not 6 feet apart. They are actually, if you have a cashier, there are two cashiers, right behind each other or right next to each
Yeah,
other.
they behind some plastic or something like that.
Yeah, no, they're
Oh,
not.
they
Well,
not?
in some restaurants, they're not behind,
Oh, I
not
know.
working. They're not
Yeah.
behind plastic.
Hmm.
Working, they're like me and you,
Right, right, right.
and they don't know each other. They don't know where they've been. I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and then that raises another question. Um, because again, how effective, and we was having this conversation earlier, how effective are the masks? I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they are. I'm just asking. I'm just raising the question, y'all.
Hmm.
Um, because if you think about it, okay, it's supposed to be the virus is supposed to be air in the air. It's not, you know, it's in the air. So if it's in the air, it's everywhere. So have you ever asked yourself, okay, when we go, like she said, when we go into a restaurant, certain restaurants, um, to enter the restaurant, you have to have a mask on. But then when you go sit down to eat, take your mask off, right?
Right.
So it's not right there. If it's in the air, like I said, if it's in the air, it's everywhere, right? That's what I thought. So again, I'm just playing the advocate. And again, I mean, so it's kind of funny because so the virus is just not there, right there. So the virus is that considerate to say, you know what, I'm gonna chill, wait till you get done eating and put your mask
I
back on.
don't think it's like that. I think it's like it'll be in the air, like if someone
What part of
had
that?
had. I don't think. I think like in part, like don't get me, don't hold me to this, but
Right.
I will double check with Miss Moore or Jerry or somebody from the health department to make sure. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that the it's airborne only like in water power uh water molecules. I think that's what
No, it's in the air.
I want to say. I don't know.
That's what they said. That's why we
I
wear
think it's
masks in
more.
public places because it's in the air. It's an airborne pathogen or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's airborne. So again, if it's in the air, it's everywhere. What parts of it that when it's time to make money at a restaurant,
But
or it
maybe
ain't in
it's
the
only
restaurant.
like,
When it's in the lunchroom, in certain schools, okay, then it ain't in there. But
but
I mean,
that's like,
it's
no,
everywhere.
well, no, that's kind of like if you sick and you sneeze. As soon as you sneeze, then those germs, if me and you right here and I sneeze on you, that's automatically germs getting coming to you. So I think that's why.
If you sneeze on me, or
Say
if
like
you
if I
if you
sneeze
sneeze right now, you
right
gotta
now
go.
and I don't cover my mouth or anything like that, then when I sneeze, those germs are going to go through the air. So yes, you are susceptible to.
But those germs are not airborne. Only
They
thing
do
is,
get airborne.
nah,
If I
nah,
sneeze and then those germs come on to you because they won't be wet.
if you sneeze on me,
Well, it's gonna get on you.
nah,
Say
nah. If
okay.
you
Say if I
if I sneeze
sneeze,
right here at you,
yeah, but don't cover your mouth.
or
No,
I just at you,
yeah, you just a chew. That's your sneeze. When you sneeze, that them germs gonna go spread. So
so what's the
if
difference?
they
It's just
spread,
like if I'm breathing, then I'm breathing the same germ into the air. I don't gotta sneeze it into the air. I can just breathe it into the air because there's germs in my body. Like if I say, that's kind of the same. I'm coughing, but I'm telling you, it's like,
nah, that's what we.
nah, that's another story. That's another story. But
Yeah.
the point being is, it's like, but again, the way they, presented it to us, like it's just in the air.
I don't think they know exactly
My
how
point
things
exactly.
are,
My point
but
exactly.
I think that what they have narrowed it down to is that the mass, they have to slow it down to some extent.
Yeah, and like I said,
So
and I understand because that's just like when the doctors are in the hospital doing the surgery, they have to, or if in labor and everybody in the labor room, they gotta have because the baby immune system, So yeah, they are effective. But the only question I raise is why isn't it so serious in certain parts of a public place like a restaurant? When you go to your seat, people just left. They just left that. They ain't leave because they mask was off. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I
They
think
ain't leave
that's
nothing for
why
you.
I think the
It's
only reason they are allowing the restaurants actually
because it's a
because
money maker.
it's a money maker, and we would literally be.
They got DoorDash and Grubhub and but
But they're
they
not going to
wouldn't make
make
as
as
much
much
money.
money through
Nah, they wouldn't.
those.
Nah, they
They're
wouldn't.
not,
So again,
because
how serious is But that okay. But back to the point. That's what these parents are kind of saying. There's
I think they're trying to not get in so much debt. Because if they shut down everything just
but
because
if it's
of
that
it.
serious, where is that
But
deadly?
I think they are going to end up having to close things down sooner or later, and every time we say it, it happens.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Because actually, they just grade 6 through 12 actually
mhm.
is um strictly virtual.
And I just read that the children death rate and the coronavirus rate for these kids, and especially from
It's
uh,
getting younger.
is getting younger, and the numbers are going up. And, I mean, I understand everybody says, okay, it's getting ready to be summertime. They just got back in school. They have been at home already. But you guys, we got to think about our children's safety. At least care about your own kid if you don't care about nobody else's. I mean, if I had that chance, and if I had kids that young, I'm not gonna lie, my kids would not be in school.
You would let them in.
No, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, me, I am very picky as it is. I really don't go around a lot of people because
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all got.
And I equate germs and all of that with spirits. And I ain't gonna get off into that, but it's like bad spirits and bad germs are the same thing to me. Basically I treat them the same because like you gotta limit who you around because that person may be germy. They might be germy or the energy ain't good. So I don't know. I kind of equate it with that. So yeah, like you said, I kind of limit myself on who I surround myself with. Energy also I equate energy, spirits, and all at the same. Good energy, bad energy. Everything's good and
Hmm.
bad, and it affects you in a good and bad way. Um, but yeah, but you guys, we gotta take care of ourselves either way. Again, like I say, let's keep. It's something we should be we supposed to do anyway, and that's hygiene. We supposed to wash, rinse, sanitize, all that anyway because we touch a lot of door handles and
Yes.
you know what I'm saying. We do a lot of that.
And y'all know y'all not carrying no bleach around in
Yeah.
no
So
purses or nothing like that, or in y'all knapsack or whatever. So y'all might as well, y'all not wearing no gloves to touch this stuff.
yeah.
I
So
mean, it's the coronavirus is still here, y'all. It's not gone anywhere, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
so.
So the more
Mhm.
you pretend like, oh, it's not going to affect you, it might not affect you. You might be that one out of 99.999 that you know immune system that is.
Now I do have some numbers. Um, I do have a couple numbers, latest numbers on the virus. Okay, new deaths
Mhm.
as of April 21st, which was yesterday. Today is April 22nd, y'all. Right? It is 22nd. Right.
Yes, that is 22nd.
New deaths, we got 45 cases, new cases. Uh, Total deaths. Right? This is in the state of Michigan, y'all. This in our state. This is in the state of Michigan. Total deaths, we have 17,031 deaths. Now, new cases,
Mm.
we have 5,000. 584 new cases, right? Total cases. Total cases all together, y'all. We got 804,724.
Mm.
That's total. Now, people that recovered, 603,094 people recovered. So think about
Mm. 200 some people.
it. But deaths as opposed to recovered, 603,000 people recovered, 17,000 people didn't. Right? Now, that's about less than that's like a 0.1%, y'all. 0.0, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I could do the math if you want me to. Still a low percentage, but it should be no percentage. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's been crazy, y'all. It's been a lot of, we need to, get our hygiene up, but stay on that. Like I say, I know I say it almost every episode, but I can't stress it enough, y'all. We need to work on our social distancing and all that stuff that required to get these numbers down. Still not a bad number, but it could be a better number. And that's just in the state of Michigan. So the recovery rate still pretty high. The case is still pretty high too. Actually, I know a couple people personally that just got affected by it. Whatever. But at the same time, we it's been a lot of crazy stuff going on. Actually, just to shift gears a little bit, I do want to say that what's the police name they got that killed George Floyd? Him. We know who we talking about. He got found guilty on all three counts. I want to say it was second degree murder, third degree murder, and manslaughter, something like that. So justice for him. Justice for George Floyd, not him. I'm happy to hear that finally. But at the same time, I don't know how much time he got. I don't know how much time he got. I don't know if that's on a later date. Did they announce how much time he's gonna get?
Really
or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'm still. I ain't nobody said nothing about that. They found him guilty, but I ain't heard nothing about how much time he got. But anyway, that's a good thing. Now, we still got a long way to go, y'all, because it's a lot more police. Because actually, what was
speaking of police, you guys, Michaela,
yeah, in Ohio,
Micaiah, she was 14 years old, and this is a big controversy. I've been reading like several articles, and a lot of different people opinions about it, even down to the View. And I actually watched the video today.
I ain't watching.
I watched the video today. You can't really see the knife. Some people say it was a butter knife. I really don't know because I can't really see it. But what I did see, I seen a trained officer. Trained officer because they had to go to the police academy, and they completed the academy, so they are a trained officer.
Oh, okay.
So what I saw was a trained officer.
Like your girl Taser.
Yes, yes. That's us getting my point. Okay. I saw a trained officer. Automatically get out of his car and shoot. True enough, she did not stand down.
Okay, was she coming at the police with
the knife? She was not coming at the police. She was coming at the girls.
Now they came to her crib.
This is a 14-year-old girl, and it was 2 against 1. So now, I'm just gonna say this right here. Number one, if you come to my house, I am protecting myself. I am not going to allow someone to come to my home and harass me. Now, my mother taught me if they brave enough to come to your home, However, they leave there, whether it's by body bag or by police, that's their decision. So those girls made that decision to go to that young woman's home. Now, I'm not saying, you know, she should have took, matters in her own hands and
Because
went
she
to
could
the
have
night.
stayed in the house
But
and called the police.
she did call the police.
She called them?
She,
She
from what I understood, she was the one that called the police. Now, I don't know what made her open the door. Well, probably do. Because sometimes you get tired. You get,
come on out. You got your other homegirl with her phone out. Come on out here, you scared. And
it's just where, I mean, I remember when I was young, I had two girls who, came to my house, and my mama told me the same thing though. She was like, "Ain't you at home?" I'm not gonna lie. She was like, "Ain't you at home?"
You never lose
she
at
said,
home.
"Now how you at home and you scared at home? Ain't it not?" She told me it's a butcher knife there too. So I wouldn't got a butcher knife too. And I opened that door, and they ran on up them streets. So it's, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's kind of a touch and go, because I'm like this, 14 years old, and it's a female. She didn't have a gun. She had a knife.
That is not. Okay. Remember a couple years back here in Muskegon when the girl had the knife out in what's that apartment complex called?
Quail Meadows?
No, something village out there by MCC in that area. But anyway,
Trinity Village?
No, it wasn't Trinity.
Oh.
Oakwood. I don't know.
Arbor Crossing?
It's out there by Baker College and MCC area. Anyway, Cotton. Anyway, no, don't give me the line. But anyway, there it was a female that had a knife, and I think she was trying to kill her boyfriend. I mean, not trying to kill, trying to stab him. And she was coming at him with the knife, and the police pop shot her in the leg just to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could have shot in the air.
Yeah, but he told her freeze, stop, and you can say
freeze and shoot in the air, and just to create a disturbance,
but
to rattle him.
He literally tried to shoot her in the leg, and he did, and he was successful, and he stopped it, and he wasn't charged with none of that. He saved. I mean, she was coming at him like this, running straight at him with the knife.
I think
police
that they have their own discretion.
They knew what they was doing. That's my thing.
He chose, because lately you know what? I have been thinking about this all day. We used to have to worry about getting beat by the police. Now we actually have to get worried about being killed by the police. And it's not just our black men no more. It's everybody. I mean, and children ain't even off limits no more. And that's the sad part about it. That's the second young person that has actually got killed by a police officer in less than 30 days. I mean, come on, it's time for us to start making a stance. We have all these different types of groups.
And it's been like, what, 4, 5 in a couple weeks? Because little dude that got shot with his hands up.
Yeah.
Him.
I mean, we got all these slogans.
Taser girl.
Hands up, don't shoot. We got so many stands, but nothing has changed. Yeah. It seems like things are getting worse and worse every day.
And that's the thing. We can sit here and talk about they doing us wrong. This is what they did to us. That's messed up. Okay, we did. Again, I think we talked about this last episode. Okay, now what? Now what? Because they sitting there like, what you gonna do about it? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. And we ain't doing nothing about it, but hey, man, that's messed up. They doing us wrong. Yeah, we acknowledge it. We talk about it. We discuss it. We make all these articles and podcasts about it and whatever. Okay, what we gonna do?
I mean,
what can we do? I mean, I ain't got all the answers. I can't really sit and say, let's do this. And I got a whole. But again, y'all, we can devise some kind of
We're
plan
not
to stop
saying
this.
that there aren't people out here doing stuff. We're really not saying that because I know a lot of organizations, especially the NAACP, they have been making tremendous moves, especially nationally, regarding breaking down barriers to stop injustice all around. And I commend them. Kudos to you guys. Keep up the great work. Um, I'm learning so much, and especially with social justice and racial issues lately. It's a touchy subject, and
It
no one
is. It
really
is.
wants
It
to
is.
really um,
Acknowledge it or
acknowledge
touch
it
on it.
and touch on it for real.
Mm-hmm.
You have some people who want to go hard with it, and then you got some people want to go soft with it. When in reality, you just got to discuss it. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to discuss racism. And and only way that we can really break down those barriers and to start trying to get open discussions if we all come to the table, but we got to be willing to listen to one another. We're not going to have the same views. We're not going to come to a full agreement to where we could all agree 100%. No, it's not going to be that way. But what we can do is agree to disagree, but come to a conclusion to where we all live at peace. I mean,
Yeah.
I really I couldn't believe it. I was thinking about um with, the Rodney King issue
Mm-hmm.
because at that time I was actually living in California.
You was
And
there around that time when it
yes,
happened.
I was there, looting and all.
Let's get along.
I mean, but that
Yeah.
day alone and the feeling that
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 experience. Yeah. Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
like something you'll never forget. So it's like until you actually been in a position to where you can experience racial issues and the tension that's around. Muskegon hasn't really been affected by racial issues. Not like that. Um, this is minute stuff that's here. It's nothing really harsh here. You're not gonna see a white cop beating down a black man in the middle of the road. You're not gonna see a white cop pulling off with a black guy in the back of his car and never showing back up again.
But just like you said, you don't see.
Yeah, you don't see it, but you know
It's
they
here. It's just on a higher scale there. I
yeah.
know, but I know what you're saying. Though.
You know,
It's yeah,
it's a
we
big
it's
big
everywhere.
difference.
It's
Yeah,
everywhere, but some
on a
here is
it's just a different scale of racism. Um,
but it's
and
all racism
it's all
anyway.
racism, and it needs to be acknowledged. Um,
Cause there was some concerned people,
yeah, some concerned people
like
here.
with the as far as old girl.
Merelda
What's her name?
Sanchez.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That, okay,
Merelda. She
now
has a
isn't like
big concern when it comes to the Roosevelt Police Department um, and how they handle certain issues um, and how they get addressed and how they don't acknowledge that there is racism in there. Um, and the hiring practicing also. Now I see that they are hiring for the police academy. They're looking for people to join the police academy there. And I know of quite a few people had reservations on their requirements as far as, you know, um, people actually joining the police academy for Roosevelt Park. Um, so I don't know what's going on with Roosevelt Park. I really don't. But I have been hearing quite a lot lately that Roosevelt Park does not want to diversify. I'm hoping I'm hearing wrong because that's not right, especially during these times. I hope there are some minorities working in Roosevelt Park, especially. I did put in an application. I'm just gonna say that, and you guys didn't even look at my stuff, but that's okay because I'm blessed anyway.
Anyway.
But but I put it in just to see if it would even get looked at. And yes, I always acknowledge that I'm black. I've never put that I'm not black because I hate to see that there are racial issues when it comes to hiring, especially when it comes to someone who's been on that side of the fence to where you are in charge of hiring people. So,
So that was as far as the when there's some type of group of people.
the Concerned Citizens
Oh
Group.
yeah.
The Concerned Citizens Group is a group
Yeah,
of
what's up with that?
people that get together and they discuss certain issues like police
Right.
brutality
Okay.
and
What is it called again?
it's
The
concerned.
Concerned
Yep,
Citizens
Concerned
Group. Okay.
Citizens Group.
Okay.
And they actually meet by Zoom. And I know they were looking for people to join in that organization.
And what do they consist of? Say like injustice,
Yep,
police
injustice and
brutality,
police brutality.
now is police brutality that like their main thing?
Yes,
Or just,
it is their main thing.
okay.
So I only attended like one Zoom with them, so I can't really tell you much about them, but I do know that they are looking for more people to join in their organization and, to help monitor and try to help make sure that Muskegon County is not like the rest of the, so we have to start within our own self before we can reach out to other places. So right now, yes, I can understand being concerned for Muskegon County.
Do we got any other announcements?
There is another vaccination being held at
another vaccination.
yes, coming up Wednesday at the Muskegon Heights Academy High School.
Wednesday, what's that date?
I want to say the 28th. I want to say Wednesday is the 28th.
I got you. Is it Wednesday?
Yes.
Yes, the 28th.
Okay.
April 28th.
Yes.
At what time?
It is between 2 and 6 again. From 2 to 6:30, I should say.
Okay.
So if you got your first vaccination shot the last round, not this last round, but the round before that, then please come on ahead and get your shot. And they are opening it up to 16-year-olds. I'm going to say this, you guys. I got my vaccination and nothing has been wrong with me at all. I had the first shot, my arm was sore for like a day. The second shot, my arm was sore for like maybe 2 days, and that was it. And nothing has been wrong. I haven't short of breath. I haven't had headaches. I haven't been sick. None of that. No blood clots. No, none of that, you guys. And I took the Moderna. So I am truly, truly an advocate when it comes to trying to get people to take the vaccination shot because that is one step closer that we know of to keeping us safe from getting the virus.
How long does the vaccine last?
Now, I did read something not too long ago with the Pfizer, they're going to end up having to give it shot again within another year. Now, with the Moderna, so far, once you get your 2 dosage, you're good.
Forever?
For a while so far. I haven't heard anything different. And I took the Moderna shot, and I recommend that everybody, and especially if you have school-age children, think of it as like it's getting an immunization because sooner or later, those immunizations, those shots are going to be your passport. So look, I know a lot of young people are being they're like, no, not gonna do it, not gonna do it because I'm gonna be totally honest with you. My kids are like, not gonna do it, mom, not gonna do it. And it is so hard to convince them to take the shot.
Hmm. You have to
And
respect
and
their
I
decision.
respect their decision, I do. I really do. But I honestly believe that if we all start getting this shot, that this could be one step towards a little bit getting a normacy. Everybody is fighting this shot so hard, but why fight it when you can just go ahead and go get it? I mean, okay, what if you get the shot and you're like, okay, get the shot the first time, nothing happened. Get the shot the second time. Well, get the shot the first time and you're around somebody who catches the coronavirus.
You
Now,
got the shot, so you
you
good,
got the shot, so you good.
right?
But everybody else around you done got sick because they ain't one got that shot. Now,
That's a scenario.
three out of them, 5 people that didn't go get that shot passed away. Didn't have any other symptoms, didn't even have any other ailments before the coronavirus. The only thing was wrong with them was the coronavirus. So I'm just
That's
saying.
your
I
scenario.
mean, I'm just making a scenario, you guys.
Right. You
That's
can't
all.
make a
I
scenario
mean, I'm
like
just
that.
like I said, y'all know I'm an advocate
Okay.
of that vaccine
And
shot.
again, you have to go on the other side.
I mean, the other side
Right,
was
okay. This
okay.
is what you have to consider also. Johnson and Johnson came out with the one hit a quitter shot. That's all you gotta take. FDA pushed it through. Nah, man, something wrong. We gotta do a recall on it because it caused blood clots. But in the meantime, take a little baby aspirin with it. You be like, come on, man, I gotta take the shot, then I gotta turn around and take the aspirin. And then the government protecting Pfizer and Moderna. So you die from it, you can't sue them. It just came out in December. These are this is the other side. Not opposing what you're saying, but this is why the people who choose not to take the shot, this is what they thinking.
But you got to remember
This
too,
is what
though.
they thinking. The shot only been out. It ain't even been out a year. So who has it been tested on to say the long-term effects of it are good or bad?
I think
Again, wait
it's
a minute,
been
hold on.
tested on people
On who?
already.
In a year? It ain't the virus only been out a year now.
Who's to say? Okay,
Well, let me finish. You did your point. And again, it came out in December. Look through the videos. We just talked about it in December. The vaccine just came out in December. So who has it been tested on long term when Corona just came out a year ago? Who has it been tested on? This is what the people who are not taking the vaccine are asking. How long does the vaccine last? We never hear because again,
right?
that's just like the flu. We took flu vaccines a long time ago. I got the flu. After that, how long does it last? Have we ever asked that question? Again, these are what the people who choose not to take it are asking and thinking. And again, how can you test the long term effects of it? It's only been out not even 6 months, right? And if those who have taken the vaccine, what do they have to worry about? Because the people who haven't had it, they're not affecting the ones who had it. or because again, the people who had the vaccine, it does not stop you from getting corona. It just lessens your chances
Mm-hmm.
of getting or dying from it, is what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And why would they go to the government, and the government has protected Moderna and Pfizer and Johnson and Johnson if you die from it? And they made this about a month after they created the vaccine.
Yeah.
If you die from this vaccine, you cannot sue us. Ain't that right, government? And the government said, yeah. So if it's 96, 98% effective again, this is what the people who choose not to take the vaccine are thinking. If it's 90%, 96, 99% effective, okay, it's effective. But again, on who, and it hasn't been test ran long enough to know the long term effects, like 5 years from now. And
Okay.
they protect it.
So now we know that
0.1. Yeah.
no. Okay. Now you know that norm. Okay. I watch a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm a firm believer that some of these movies come out with with these viruses because this virus reminds me of one movie I watched, and it was coming through they said it was coming through the telephone lines and stuff. So they had to stop all communications and everything like that because they couldn't trace it. People was getting sick over and over and over and over. They couldn't trace it. So they ended up had known about the virus way ahead of time. And I think the government always knows about a virus before it comes out. I think they don't tell us until after
Because
it's leaked.
Obama spoke
Yeah.
on it 5 years ago. Exactly
So
5 years before.
5 years ago, there was an antidote. They've been working on it since then.
So they vaccinated somebody and did the
They
test on
had
people?
to.
Did they?
Because, okay, if Obama spoke on it 5 years ago.
No, he spoke on it as in prepare for it. And the
Okay,
government need
why
to
would he say prepare for it if someone hadn't already been exposed to it?
Yeah, that's Obama there.
My point exactly, because like I said, these viruses just don't come up. I'm sorry, they just don't. And what happens is they sit up there and they find out because most of them come from China and all that, and it comes from our troops. It comes from troops and reporters that go overseas and do all that traveling. And when they can't contain it in one area and it expanded it in a certain amount of rate, then they say, oh, we got a virus all of a sudden. But they already knew about the virus way ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've been experimenting a long time ago. Because it takes lots of money for these vaccines. They've been practicing for this for a long time. So
you can
this
explain why
vaccine,
Johnson and Johnson was a fallback.
Johnson, it's like it's their experiments. There's
Exactly.
Yeah, but look, Johnson and Johnson came out after Pfizer and Moderna.
Okay.
It wasn't ready yet. It wasn't ready. Only one that's ready so far seemed like the Moderna.
Seemed like.
So far.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Anyway, good point. I'm not, but again, I was just speaking for the ones who are not taking it. That's why they're not taking it.
And that was just my theory. Because I know the government be knowing stuff ahead of time, and we just get the late. But
so you think they created a virus to create a vaccine for it?
no, I didn't say they created virus, but sometimes
Okay.
they do be doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think they created the virus. I think somebody actually contracted the virus and brought it back. I think some troops, was over somewhere and they brought the virus back. And
Do you
because
think the virus is
when it
new?
hits that hard, it has to come from troops, from the
Okay.
government. I'm sorry, the vaccine.
Hard. Okay. Now we just did the numbers again. The death rate cases is 0.1%.
Right now.
It's always been like
None only ones that they report. I'm sorry.
It's always been like that. We've been reporting it. It's
No, I'm
always
talking
been.
about we get it from
It's a
somebody else.
98% recovery rate.
So they say.
Okay. All right, y'all. That's another. We're gonna cover that later, cause yeah. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of A&M Political Views. We're gonna keep going, but we don't want to hold y'all up. But that's another episode of A&M Political Views. Guarantee our next episode gonna be even crazier. Don't forget to tune in. We are your hosts, Aviance Watts.
And I'm Michelle Tyson.
You guys have a good night and